Coach Greg, and an update in the Raha case. Rampage Jackson, he has an emotional breakdown. He's now defending his son. At first he said, Raha, he shouldn't have done it, and it's his mistake. But now he's changed his tune. And so imagine it's been almost a week and Raha is still a free man. He's still walking around. He hasn't even been arrested yet, but California state authorities have finally picked up the case and they're going to do something about it. And so imagine, despite all the evidence, despite all the videos, he's still so far been allowed to get away with it. And now Rampage Jackson, he's essentially a streamer at almost my age, and he's out there defending his son at his actions, saying, I would have taken Stu out myself. And so an update, Stu has been released from hospital. He's missing approximately half of his teeth, but thankfully he can recover at home. He's no longer in hospital, and it does in fact make a big difference. When you're at hospital, you're cooped up in there, it's not a good place to be. And so thankfully, he's now been let out, and he is doing better than expected. He's now at home. And so his injuries included trauma to both upper and lower jaws, laceration to his upper lip, fracture to the maxilla bone, which unfortunately resulted in the loss of several of his teeth. Meanwhile, Rampage Jackson, he makes a horrendous post on Instagram. This has gone too far. I'm sick of being quiet and letting all the low IQ people fall for clickbait. Clickbait is when you mislabel a video and the video has nothing to do with the title. And so when you watch Raha, Rampage's son, how is that clickbait when he's caught in 4K doing exactly that? If my son would have just went to the police when the beer can incident happened, then the whole event could have gotten shut down and he could have sued. Yeah, that could have happened, but that didn't happen. And so Rampage, where is the disconnect? You're the one that raised him, and so if you raised him right, he wouldn't have done this. And so you're raging out because you know this is a reflection of you. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But no, my son is not as smart as I'd like for him to be. I mean, it's so great of you to go there and make fun of your son all the time before, during, and after this. Like, how is this sentence happening? My son's an idiot. He's not as smart as he should have been. Now, my family and I are getting racist threats because of all the misinformation being posted, so content creators can get paid from viewers. It's not racist. If Raha were white, Chinese, Caucasian, a woman, it wouldn't matter. What he did is wrong regardless of race. And how is this misinformation? Hey, if it was CGI, if it was someone else, then I understand what you're saying. But it's him and you know it. And it's the nerve of you to say so that content creators can get paid when you yourself are live streaming and milking this. You're literally farming your son. It's your son. You're going on streams talking about it and making it even worse. Calling the kettle black. And no, it's not a racist statement. I have witnesses that says this isn't the first time that Psycho Stu had done some drunk shit backstage to a fan. How is that relevant? What's next? If your son does something to a female that starts with the letter R and it rhymes with ape?
Rhymed, yeah, I know, I know.
Are you then going to say, oh, well, she's been known to dress like that in several other occasions? Are you going to say she's asking for it? And so just because Psycho Stu drinks alcohol, just because he got drunk, does that excuse what Raha did? And so if a man who's inebriated, intoxicated, does anything to anyone, then you have the right to murder that man, to try to kill them. That is what you're saying. Now we have the backstory that my son attacked an innocent military vet with PTSD. Like my son knew everything about the man that came up from behind him and hit him and then asked him to sell it. Of course he didn't know that this was a military vet or that he had PTSD. He didn't know anything about him. But when you say he came from behind and hit him, he was doing it directly in front of him. Why lie when it's literally there in 4K? There's direct visual evidence. Next, are you trying to say that this man knew that your son had had a concussion the other day? I mean, you guys, they each knew nothing about each other. And so for you to say, oh, well, he didn't know he was a military vet and he didn't know that he had PTSD, how is that relevant? And so it's okay to try to murder someone if they don't have PTSD. If they are not a military vet, you can do what you want. You can kill a person. Oh, but if they have a concussion previously, then you can't touch that person. And so make it make sense. What the people did prior in their life, whether this guy was a father, a grandfather, whether he had 20 kids, whether he was in the army, none of this matters. Psycho Stu is lucky I wasn't there when he hit my son over the head with a beer can the day after he got a concussion from sparring the day before. And so it's relevant now that your son had a concussion from sparring the day before. And so what? Psycho Stu watches your son on stream? Nobody watches your son on stream. Well, perhaps some do. I didn't know who he was. And so how is that relevant? And what kind of an example are you as a father? What you should have done is if you were there, said, son, we're going to the police. We're not going to beat this man up. We're not going to try to kill him. Jackson, what is wrong with you? Play stupid games and win stupid prizes. And so why don't you tell that to your son? Hey, son, play stupid games and win stupid prizes. What you did was stupid and you win 10 years in jail. What do you think of that? You should have taught him that before this happened. Hey, son, I know you're a trained fighter. You can handle yourself. But if somebody starts it up with you, you know what the smart person does? They walk away. They don't take it in your own hands. And if you do, if you decide to fight, once you put your man unconscious, you stop fighting. The fight's over. You win. And you win by walking away. But if you continue, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Did you think of that? Let's all learn a lesson. And so Rampage is thinking, what a great time to teach a lesson. And what lesson is he going to teach us? Well, let's see. If you get paid to do fake fights, because obviously wrestling is staged, it isn't real, don't disrespect people that do the shit for real. And so he's backing him up. He's saying, you couldn't fight, and he could, and so he has the right to try to kill you, because he's a real fighter. And so does this not remind you of Mike Van Wyck when he attacked Jeff Nippard and other people were defending him saying, hey, fuck around and find out. You go talk to the bear, then whatever happens, you deserved it. This is not how it works. You're teaching a very horrendous lesson.
Hopefully one day I can meet Psycho Stu and shake his hand and have a man-to-man with him and stuff like that. But who knows? But y'all, the people that know me. Y'all know I got mad love for everybody.
And so now he's saying, I want to meet Psycho Stu and shake his hand and have a conversation with him. But previous to this, you're saying he's a horrible human being, that he's drunk, that he deserved it, that if he had been there when this happened, that he would have settled it on the spot, that his son should have gotten to the police, but that he would have just taken him out. And so why does he even post this? It only makes him look worse. You can see he's lying in his post. He's defending his son, but lying in the post. Why even bother? And to insult the people's intelligences, saying they have low IQs for believing the clickbaits. The clickbaits that are caught in 4K with visual evidence. When you care about your live stream more than you do about your son. And so that is what's going on. Rampage as clearly doesn't give two shits about anything except perhaps his own image, his own pocketbook, and has decided to farm his son for views and or money. Subscribe, click the button, watch one of those videos. The cookbooks as always, the Seacoal bars, the Blue Lobster pre-workout, Turk Builder Max, Turk Platinum. Go and check out the website. If you're looking for coaching, you can get me there. If you're looking for Algo RX, they get your blood work done. They can prescribe you various medications at very cheap prices. And so if you're interested in those things, of course, enter code Greg. You get a discount. And until next time, I am out.